going from one exercise to the other, like rotating back from back to chest, man, that's like, man, draining, man. I'm talking about from the first set, it just tore me out the frame, man. So right now I can't even hardly talk. Really, I can't breathe. I need my asthma pump, man. Shit.
Good workout though today.
Yeah,
great,
awesome
great
workout.
pump. I mean, cause so we started off with a straight arm pull down. Again, we're just trying to, you know, emphasize technique. You know, emphasize getting a good stretch right there. So the idea there is this is not a power exercise. Intentionality. And we keep talking about intentionality, but you really want to focus on your lats right there doing the work. And Tyrus did a good job of that. So then after that, so we go to rest, pause, drop, which I already explained what that is in the prior videos. 20-second breaks, you know, 3 sets. And that we started a little higher reps, something he could hit like 15 reps with instead of the 6 to 10 we'd initially, because we're trying to like get this as a good kind of kickoff movement. Not only for the benefits that everybody knows of, it kind of warms them up for what we're gonna do, because Tyrus in great shape right now. So we're trying to protect his joints by, you know, starting off good warm up, and then, you know, next, again, that's why we wanted the incline cable fly next. There you go. There you go. So we could have, you know, a lot of people will always say you always have to start off with a compound movement, this and that. And I mean, I agree, if we have to choose one movement, a compound movement would be the best, but we don't have to. So what we did is just change the sequence a little bit, go with the incline cable fly. 30-degree incline there, great for upper chest development. And you want to fix your elbow at about a 20-degree bend. Cement that, lock it into place, okay? And from there, you watch him. It's a continuous tension, so you get a good stretch out. You're leaving that that bend in your elbow, never changes position throughout the lift, and you squeeze the weight together. So that's a problem with flies, as many times, especially with dumbbells, they become, excuse the nomenclature, a bastardized press, meaning people start pushing and pressing, hooting and hollering, grunting, fly. No, that ain't a fly. Okay, what you want to do is squeeze the weight together. Total intentionality on your chest doing the weight. It's not a press, it's not an extension, it's a squeeze. Same rep scheme there.
Hey, that hurt, man. Damn. How's your chest this week?
Obviously, I say warming up in most people's minds going to be like an easy way to gateway to the workout. Warming up in the sense of, you know, it's going to warm up the muscles, but it's also going to protect them from having to go too heavy at the end of the workout.
Man, I'm talking about he just forcing blood into the chest and the back. Rotating exercises, it's like draining, man. That's all I can say, man. I had a super pump from the first exercise we started out with 15 reps on the pull downs, and it just pushed blood in there. Then we went from there to, I think,
what we're talking about now, the incline flies.
Yeah, the incline flies. Now that really was the squeeze at the top and keeping our elbows like half bent and stretching and coming to the top. It just forced blood to the top of my chest. So
obviously, you know, one advantage over the dumbbells is a continuous tension, because the dumbbells, you always get a hell of a stretch overload at the bottom of the movement. But beyond that, I mean, when you think about it, like, you got to stop the dumbbells from touching because you want to keep all the tension on the chest instead of just letting the momentum ride it and, you know, just make it into, you know, never mind. But you just want to, you stop the dumbbells from touching. With the cables, you actually touch them together and you get that continuous tension the whole entire range of motion. So that's the advantage of the cables right there. So then we went on to the seal dumbbell rows. So what'd you think about them?
I feel like the whole workout was like old school Arnold type training, but because you remember back in the days he used to train back and chest at the same time, and it just gives you just a super pump, man, and it burn you out quick, and you don't have to be in here no 2 hours. We did it in like what, 45 minutes to an hour. And
yeah, it took about 47 minutes for everything.
And it felt like that I had been in here all day. We actually worked two hard body parts, which is chest and back at the same time. So I just like the old school training, because I trained the same way in a prison for us doing chest and back at the same time, and I hadn't did it in a while. So by him doing it today, it kind of shocked my muscles, and I just love the pump. I mean, I already know it. Every time I meet with Josh, I know it's gonna be punishment. So I got up early this morning, ate like three bowls of oatmeal, no, 3 cups of oatmeal, and he had got it up out of me by the first 2 movements. So you understand the rest of the workout was like really brutal, man. Yeah. And he pushed me through it.
The advantage also the seal rows, I do them a lot with powerlifters and with the dumbbells here, because we were actually going to use a barbell, but the bench doesn't cut that way. So with the what you want to do is, you know, as you can see, it's a chest supported row, but what you do is the advantage to it is it takes your lower back out of the equation. And then there's no way, you can't really cheat the weight up, obviously, because you're on the bench right there. So that's the two big advantages, because a lot of times, you know, especially when you read like, you know, it's funny, you'll see like someone write a workout in a magazine that obviously doesn't work out heavy themselves. They'll be talking about, you know, we're doing like a chest and back workout, but they do a bent over row as part of the next day have to squat. So a lot of times, like a traditional barbell row, the lower back's going to be the limiting factor because of fatigues. So with a seal row, that's out the window. You keep it strict, and you can work these up hard and heavy on like a barbell row. You know, guys like Jeremy Hornstra and stuff, you know, over 365 pounds on the seal barbell row. So then after that, we went on to the plate-loaded prime incline press. It's similar to like a hammer strength incline press. And what we did there is the 1 1/4 reps. What do you tell us what you thought about that?
The 1 1/4 reps, forcing the blood into the muscle. We was going like halfway, back down, all the way to the top. And that was like just constantly pumping the weight in there. And I'm gonna say, you can see the pump, man. He got a serious pump today. From chest to back.
And it was, so that's what was cool about it, is it got, like we've talked about before with the flies, say like the dumbbells, gets good stretch of the bottom, the cables, good peak contraction, kind of maximize both here. We get the good stretch of the bottom of the movement, because that's actually perfect for his body. Gets a good stretch of the bottom, but not an overstretch. Go down, come up quarter of the way, half the way wherever he was, come all the way back down, then hold at the top and really squeeze that and get it. So you get the best of both worlds. You know, that stretch and that just, you know, nasty contraction at the top.
Nasty contraction by going all the way up.
All the way up.
And squeezing at the top. It's like, I don't even know what to say about it, man. I just know it was an awesome workout.
And then after that, we went over to the wide grip seated rows. And so the objective there is we're gonna overload the eccentric. You know, so how much, you know, everybody can lift. You can lower more than you can lift, so that's the fact. Okay, how much more is going to be vary on a case-by-case individual. Some people claim up to 175% more. That may be true in like the, you know, beginners, more untrained population. As strong as somebody is, less can be the fact. The fact of the matter is, you can still lower more than you can lift. So what we're going to do there is take advantage of that. So you're going to actually, you know, get back, boom, get some cheat, 5-second negative right there, and I mean, if the camera's going to show how well his, you know, back was working, you felt it. And that's a great way to eccentrically overload it right there, is you don't need to go crazy and, you know, make it, you know, twice your max and, you know, just go crazy. Just a little cheat pass there, then 5, count negative, smoke your back. Then finally we finished off with weighted dips, getting that forward lean to hit the chest. That's all. I mean, many great old school bodybuilders have called the dip the upper body squat. You can call it whatever the hell you want, it works. Get that forward lean. And then again, like, you know, he's real shredded right now and stuff, so we're trying to protect everything right now. And at the end of the workout, you know, instead of going to use 145 pounds, we use 45 pounds. You got a great workout and got a lot done. And then just, you know, by switching that sequence up, besides the obvious, you know, pre-exhaustion, you think about it, besides, it's just a different stimulus too when you know, because a lot of times when people change their workouts, they look at two things: adding more weight to the bar or changing exercises. Those are the two obvious ones, but what we're trying to do is bring you guys other things too. So change the sequence of the workout. You can, you know, change the rest intervals. Okay, so like, you know, this is a whole, no one gonna rant and rave here about this, but if you do 5 sets, you know, 75-second break between sets, and next week it's 60, henceforth you've overloaded your training that way. So that's what we're trying to do, is showing you this way is not necessarily doing different exercises, but just switching the sequence is gonna be a different type of overload.
Yes.
Because the principle of isolation is a different way of overloading, because so compound movement, isolation movement, slow reps, fast reps, high reps, low reps, holistic training.
Yeah. Every time I get with Josh, man, he find a way to burn me out, because I'm used to like just getting the dumbbells heavy and just pressing them and throwing them down, because I've been doing it, and I'll be thinking that I'm ready for anybody training. But when I get with him, man, it'd be like I'm pussy, man, trying to keep up with what he doing, actually trying to keep up with what he doing and what I do, It's totally different, man. Because with him, he make you slow down, concentrate, and do the reps right, get your elbows right, squeeze at the top, and that make a big difference than just throwing weight around. And I can tell the difference, but because I usually take an hour and a half, 2 hours. With him, it's like 45 minutes, and we train 2 body parts, 2 big body parts. And I got a better pump doing both of those exercises with him than doing one at a time for an hour and a half apiece. So that's what I like about that. And we done, and then I can go.
Yeah, it's like there's a time and a place for everything, like the book of Ecclesiastes says. But anyways, I want to make another just public service announcement here. Okay, got some comments here about being from Texas, making barbecue, and yes, I will do some videos at some point on how to, smoke ribs and things like this. Okay, but here's the first piece of advice. Someone asked me about liquid smoke. Any recipe that has liquid smoke is going to be crap. I'm totally suspect of using liquid smoke on anything. What do you think?
I don't use liquid smoke either.
It's garbage.
Old school, man.
Old school. So we'll bring some more stuff on barbecuing too, but anything, so here's the first rule. Anything with liquid smoke is out.
Yeah, man. Old school, man. Old school training, man. Old school cooking, man.
Yep, there you go.
It's the best way, man. Look at all the old school bodybuilders and the old school powerlifters, man. Hunt, deer, squirrel, rabbit, man. We old school, man. Beer, Waffle House. Man, we just old school, man. I mean, no disrespect to IHOP and Denny's, but everything is just old school, man. Old school, the better. I mean, old school is the best, man.
Waffle House.
Waffle House, man.